today is a special day, and I'm here with my sister Phinnah Chichi. I'm so many things, but one biggest thing that I am is a mother. I'm a mother to some teenagers and a twin daughter. I'm a passionate teens coach, and I'm also a very, very passionate parent of teens coach. I love to talk to parents. I love to encourage parents. I love to make them understand that communication is key. I mean, I don't want to go too further on, but that's just my passion. By the way, guys, this lady here, she's got a magic touch. When she says things, or when she gives teenagers or motivates teenagers, they listen. How do you combine your career with your passion? Writing, you write books, you're a teenage coach. How do you juggle all these things? Very, very good question, because many mothers actually struggle with this combination. I'm a chartered accountant by profession, and it's a very, very busy role, especially at different seasons. It can be quite busy, but I always believe that it's so important to combine it with your passion, because your passion gives you the oomph, and that gives you that energy to do your profession. The extras to do your profession. Because if you're just in your profession, it can get a bit boring sometimes. But when you mix it with what you're passionate about, that drive it gives you, that passion that you explore through doing what you're passionate about, you actually bring that to the table when you come to your profession. You give it that dedication, you give it that, and there's that hope as well, because you're doing what you're passionate about. You have hope in your profession. You have hope that, you know what, this stuff that I'm doing is not a waste of time. It's part of the process, because you've got your passion beside you. But if you don't have that stuff that you're doing out of your passion, then life can get quite boring. So it's important, and in balancing, you've got a plan. If you don't plan, you cannot balance it properly. You will feel overwhelmed. And when we talk about balancing, we're not saying that it must be equal. It's nothing about being equal. I don't think anything in life can be not really balanced. Yeah. Sometimes it's this way, sometimes it's this way, but you just have to keep going, right? You have to keep going, yeah. So when people talk about balance, I hope that people don't think everything has got to be right at the same place. No, sometimes one is going to give. Sometimes the other is going to give. But when we talk about balance, it's the overall balance. How are you balancing the whole thing? And we need to do that as mothers. And still able to survive. Yes, that's key. Because you've got to do that, because as well, who's watching us? We've got our children who are watching us. That's right. They're going to learn how to balance when we figure out how to balance. Okay, so how did you discover your skills? A lot of people, right, they feel or they want to do a lot of things, but they don't know what they are capable of doing. Yeah. How did you discover you've got a skill in writing and maybe for motivating teenagers? I think for me it started, when we were kids. Me being the eldest. By the way, sorry, let me just interrupt you. Yeah. What did you want to be when you... Different things. The first thing I wanted to be was a pilot. Oh I remembered. I wanted to be the first female pilot from Nigeria. I was just fascinated with the fact that a transport can be in the air, and then I'm in control of it. I was really fascinated. I think for me, writing started when Dad died. I had to write the memory that I remembered, because I just didn't want to forget it. I was in the debating society in school, so all those things kind of triggered a lot of things that are happening now. And I must say, when I now found out what I was really passionate about in terms of speaking and writing, was when our auntie died, Auntie Mabel. That year was kind of a funny year for me, because I had to think now deep inside to understand, what am I here for? Yes, I'm a chartered accountant. Yes, I've got my kids. But what am I actually here for? Where am I in this life? Because I have to have I have to know what I am doing here. So like a purpose? Purpose, yes. I have to know my purpose, because when I die, I don't want to die without having done my purpose. And so that's when I started sitting down to think about, what is it I'm good at? Okay. What has God called me to do? And I prayed about it. Like, what is it that excites me? And so that's how I started. And God was just I just started saying, oh, that's true. When I speak to teenagers, I found that I get on so well with teenagers. I know. Right from time. But I noticed that I get on very well with teenagers. I know how to talk to them. I know how to listen to them. And there's this connection that we always have. And that's one of the gifts I have as well. It's a gift of encouragement. So I use that gift in encouraging teenagers to be better than what they are now, to actually tap into the greatness that they have inside.
What are the challenges of being a mom of teenagers?
Yes, there are definitely big challenges. The biggest challenge is trying to understand where they're coming from. That's the main thing. Whenever I feel that I'm not in a situation where I understand where they're coming from, I let it go for that second. Because I come back to myself and say, God, give me the understanding to understand where they're coming from. That's how I leave it. Later on, we'll talk about it. So sometimes they come up to say...
Communication.
Yes, communication.
So communication is key.
Oh, communication is key. And you find that at that time that you've given it a break, like, you know what, let's come back to that later. They have time to go and think about it. We have time to think about it. And then we can come to an understanding or to a negotiation.
And the situation is calmer.
The situation is much calmer. There's no point to shout and make all that noise. I'm not a shouter. And that's the way I've raised my
Once
kids.
you give them this eyes.
Do eyes for them. I can't do it consciously.
when she gives you this eyes, you just behave. Daily inspiring declarations using God's word to win in the battlefield of the mind. I'm going to leave the details down below, and at the moment it's on Amazon, right?
It is on Amazon.
So just tell us, what inspired you to write this beautiful book?
Whew. This book came from a deep place. Every morning, as part of my routine, I've done that for years.
Okay.
Every morning I read a verse and I write stuff about the verse. So I write out what I'm understanding from the verse and what lessons I'm taking from that verse. Just one verse is what I do.
Yeah.
I did that for years, and every time I did that, I sent it across. I started sending emails to my friends.
Yes. That was one of the recipients.
I started sending emails of what I was writing, just my writing, and telling God to actually give me the understanding. What did God want me to share that day?
Okay.
What did God want me to understand that day? Because I believe that every day there's a word for everybody. Every day there's just a word that you just need to soak in before you go out there and face the world. So as I've written this, and I've done it for like 2-3 years, just writing just general drafts and stuff. I had that big aha moment from God, and it was so I had to start from obedience. I had to start planning, and for where it's gonna go, I know that it's gonna go very, very far. It's a book from the heart. It's simple. It's relatable.
The first chapter, day 1, just start. Basically, don't forget the days of humble beginnings. So this is really fantastic.
Thank you so
At
much.
the moment, it's on Amazon.
It
Any
is on
other
Amazon.
place?
It is on Amazon for now, and also we've got physical copies for people to buy who are around in town and stuff. When I go to events, I make sure I take copies. We've also got e-copies as well.
Okay.
So for e-copies, people can email us at dailyinspiringdeclarations@gmail.com, and then we can actually send them the e-version.
So yeah, that's it. Yes. Daily inspiring declarations. So just before we go, right, what advice do you have for moms out there who maybe have a creative desire to write a book like you've just done?
I think they should just start. If you do want to write, go ahead and write. If you do have a desire to create, to make clothes, to sing, to talk to people, to encourage people, just go ahead and do it. Go ahead and start. My favorite quote, if you would allow me to say this quote, is,
yes, please.
You don't have to be great to get started, but you must get started to be great.
Ooh, I love that. I really, really love that.
Every day that I say that quote, it just fires me up. Wow. I don't have to be great to get started, but I must get started to be great. No one can take the fulfillment out of me for doing this.
I feel the love.
Yes,
I feel the joy.
No one can
well
take
done.
it.
No,
Thank
that's
you so
really,
much.
really good.
No one can take it. So it's about priority. What is priority to you? Is your fulfillment priority? If it is, you will find a way to balance
Go
it.
out there and do it.
You will find a way to do it. Yes.
Right.
Definitely.
Right. Who inspires you? Just name one person that inspires you.
My mom is a very big inspiration to me.
Watching a melon?
Yes, my mom is a very big inspiration. Being by herself after Dad died and bringing us all up, that's a very big inspiration. And I think the older that I get, the more appreciative I am of her. Yeah. So she's a big one for me. Oprah is another one for me as well. I've always loved Oprah right from time. I mean, anyone talking against Oprah cannot speak near me. It's like for me. And I would say my children. My children are big inspirations to me because When I look at them, I know that I've got to keep going.
Oh.
When I look at them, I know that I have to be my best at all times. It's not pressure. It's not like a pressure kind of thing, but I'm inspired when I see them because I know, and I know where they're going, and I'm so excited for them. So with that, I'm inspired to be my best. So those are kind of my areas. So. Can I just say something to you before you wrap up the interview?
Oh, yes, please.
I mean, I'm so proud of you.
I need tissue.
No, I
actually need to get some tissue.
I am so proud of you with what you're doing, and I just want to use this time to acknowledge you for that. That whatever you've set your heart to do, you're doing it, irrespective of any situation that you're facing, irrespective of anything that you're going through. You are doing what you need to do, and it's a very big inspiration for others. It's a very big inspiration to tell others that you don't have to have everything perfect before you get to do what you've got to do.
This is deep.
I'm learning. I'm watching.
This is my identity. My senior sister, my elder sister. Oh, thank you so much.
So you're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. I told you guys, she has the magic touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
If I say coming to this show, for allowing this show happen.
Yeah, no,
so thank you so
really
much.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. But until then, keep shining your light and value every moment you have.
That's right.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.